I enjoyed my first visit to the JLF. I have been to Jaipur many, many times, of course. In fact, yesterday evening I met someone whose father or uncle had an event for me almost 40 years ago. So, okay, a nice coincidence. I enjoyed the literature fest a lot. I wish I would have stayed longer, but I have to run back today. And my experience has been fun. I mean, I had a very enjoyable session, very engaging audience, and you. Okay, so I'm not really coming up with prescriptions. It's the same in chess. People often ask me how I mentor someone like Ukesh, and if he tells me a situation, I recognize that the circumstances in which I face that situation, circumstances in which he's facing it, are very different. I simply share my experience, how I overcame any worries, negative thoughts, and managed to cope with it. And I think the act of sharing your experience itself is supposed to be the extra insight for them, that maybe they put it in some perspective. So literally, you're telling someone, I was in something similar. This is how I faced it. Maybe that's useful for you. I would just say that the book is also very much in that style. The world I'm describing and the times I was their age are, of course, don't exist anymore. They will face the same problems in a different way. But I'm saying, look, I was once 17, this is what I faced. I was once in this situation, this is what I faced. This is how I went about it. These are the feelings I had inside that probably you didn't know of. Make of it whatever is useful. And I hope in that spirit it will be useful. Yes, go ahead. Ma'am? Yeah. Yes. No, the lady. If you could give it to the lady first and then you can. Okay. She was very involved with my chess. She was very involved with me. I mentioned my brother and sister were much older than me, so they kind of left home quite quickly, and then I was so first part of first 10 years I grew up with two siblings, and then suddenly I was the only kid. Um, and chess was an unusual career. It's not the routine career where you can just or routine activity where I think it was slightly unusual because you had to be really a passionate chess player to go about it and so on. But I turned out to be quite lucky with the resources available in Chennai and things like that. But she would always come and make sure that everything is appropriate. And I think she was there a lot because I mean, as a parent, I see it myself that you need to be there a lot to not fall behind very far in your understanding of your child, what they're experiencing, but also to be aware of what's happening. And besides that, I think knowing that my mother and my parents were okay with me playing chess was a big relief. If you have the feeling that they're worrying that you're not concentrating on your studies or where is this going to lead, if they have worries, you'll feel the worries. But my parents always gave me the impression that they were very comfortable with what I was doing, and that's a liberation. So I would qualify their answer by saying that some bad moves finish the game immediately. Some bad moves you can recover from, and some bad moves are nothing special. I think you should try to be better, except that you're not going to succeed. I mean, you may try to say, I've got to really avoid these mistakes. It's important to do that because then at least you will lower the number of mistakes, but you cannot avoid them completely. Um, and part of playing chess and maybe life is having some level of tolerance. This is what you want to accomplish. This is what you will actually accomplish, and this is what is realistic. Um, if you get, you must try to improve, even though you know you will not succeed to the level you want. You must try to do better. You have to do things knowing that you will not be 100% successful. But if you don't try at all, that's the wrong attitude. Yeah. Obviously, I depend on my family. My wife, especially, uh, was a very big part of my career. She was traveling with me everywhere. She's my manager. we really worked like a team. And invariably, any other issues, things that were unpleasant for me, I would discuss with her. And sometimes it's enough just to unload it. Sometimes you need a solution and things like that. Um, but it's also important. I always found it very nice when things were going badly, and in one area, that is chess, and then you get to meet your old schoolmates somewhere, and having the chance to leave your problems behind and leave them alone for a while is the best way. I mean, everything will take time. Even recovery takes time, and you just have to know to be patient.